Hi everyone out there,
Hello.
it's Monica and Kristopher here. And as a part of our sovereign and free life, um, you know, expression, and we have Facebook groups and homepages and everything, we want to share a little bit about our relationship because I think it's kind of unique, you know? What do you
It
say?
shouldn't be unique. Everybody should experience this, I think.
I mean, we've been together for
9 years now.
9 years, and we see so many people having struggles in their relationships. And
Mm.
of course, everyone has that, but we've kind of discovered things that I think some key points that could help so many people out there that we have learned in our relationship, and also moving away from like a lot of brainwash and propaganda about men and women and relationships that actually it might be a bit controversial for some of you, the things that we're saying, because we're moving against a lot of norms in our relationships, I think. But it's really so much value because I think we have some very basic instincts, I believe, as men and women, and we are clearly like men and women. And in my research, actually, I've been doing brain research. I'm a school teacher. I've been researching into group psychology and norms. Like I've done all of that, and I've come to that yes, there's a clear difference between men and women, and that's kind of controversial even to say that. Oh no, they're like all the genders should kind of be gone. And for me, that is moving against some of these deep instincts and hormones. And actually, we have physical differences as men and women. What do you say? And it also feels like um, that men can't be men because that is shamed, and women can't be women because that is shamed as well. And then it's this huge confusion in relationship
Mm.
from that.
I just think that generally in society, it is stigmatized to feel emotions like aggression. As a man, you can be aggressive, but that is stigmatized as something toxic or bad, or you cannot feel this way, you cannot feel anger, you cannot feel, you know, all these other emotions that we are labeled as bad. But I think that if you're in a bad situation, if you're in a toxic relationship with someone, or if you are in a toxic environment at work or whatever, and your response to that is to be mad or defensive or whatever, that might be your mental part of your, white blood cells in the mind, that the immune system in your mind that protects you from the surroundings. So there's nothing wrong with these emotions. But if we suppress them, everything, if we suppress those emotions, that's when the problem starts, I think. And I think this is systematically done to men and women, of course, in society. So I think what both you and I has done so well is that we have not settled for less than being ourselves, right? And express ourselves fully.
Because we see a lot of couples like trying to be something that they're not. They're trying to have a idea of a relationship, what it should be like. It should be very equal. It should be very like, oh, the husband should clean, and this should, like, there's so many kind of, especially from women. I was going around like that a lot, like earlier before I met these things within me, like feeling oppressed like constantly, just by if I did something, if I was cleaning, if I was like taking care of my husband, or it was like this kind of, I like this, who will people think I am? They're going to think I'm completely suppressed by my husband or something. When that kind of love and caring and loving for the family and taking care of my husband and my family, that is something so instinctful and inside of all of women to actually, I love to give to my family. I love to cook for my family. I love to take care of the children, to take care of Christopher, and that's a beautiful thing. But when I can do that fully, and throw away those kind of constant ideas in my mind that, oh my God, I'm oppressed if I like do a little bit extra here, or always kind of keeping like track of in my mind, what has he done, what has I done, like that is such a pest in women's mind especially, but also in men too, because now we found like a beautiful flow of things between us where like I cook food, Christopher does the floors at home, he does takes care of like all the machines and everything. Like a lot of times there is oppression against men, honestly, out there from women. I have to say that, because why don't we value what we do? Like I value all the things that Christopher does, and those are the things that he's better at. So why wouldn't he do those things? And I do the things that I love, that I'm better at. And we kind of find this balance. Of course, there should be an exchange of energy like all the time. Sorry, the cat is. Should we take the cat out? Till lilla. Lilla vännen.
Jag tror inte det.
Va? Vi kan öppna dörrarna bara som kommer ut. Oh, well, anyway. But I think there is this stress in relationships that we need to have this perfect relationship, and the husband has to be this and that and that, and like there's so many requirements, like instead of like leaning into what is really there, what is natural, what is actually happening between you. So go from the mind and go to the truth of what is. Like I do actually love Kristopher, because of the one he is, not because
What you want me to be.
of course I do have like we I do have things that I want him to do, but we're very honest with it. Like we don't go and hide stuff. Like we're really, really bad at that.
No, that's always something. I think what we do also is that we don't play games with each other. We almost role play sometimes just to play things out, more, just to make fun of it even. But we don't play games. If there is something inside me that is pressing, I always say whatever it is. Just this is where it is, and this is how I feel. And then she says what she feels, and we might have a food fight or whatever, we'll throw food at each other. But I think we're both very responsible individuals, and
that sounds responsible.
It is. But in the end, it's like we don't let each other abuse one another. We always keep each other in check, right? Yeah. And for me, for example, in my case, this is not something that anybody knows, but I know for myself, I don't have any secrets that I keep from my partner. But this is only me who knows that. But this is the way for me to not have any conflicts. Because if I don't have anything going that I'm hiding or whatever, I don't have to protect anything. Because for me, if I try to do that, it's going to show, because I cannot hide stuff, That's why I just, inside of me, I keep my space clear, so it's clear between me and my wife, And then whatever comes up between us, it comes up. But I'm also very clear, I don't cook, I don't want that. But I see that you love doing that. You love to take care of me. And I love when she comes to me and like, oh, are you fed? Or you're hungry? Should I make some dinner for you? That makes me feel like a man. And if that is programming or whatever, I don't care. It feels good to me. And if I feel good, I will behave better towards her. So who is the boss then? If you feel oppressed because you cook for your man, Well, if you make your man feel good, what do you get in return? Well, you might get something good out of it, right?
And why, in that case, when he changes the tires of the car or cleans the whole car or mows the whole lawn, or like, why does he come and feel oppressed when he's doing that? Like, I don't think so. Like, that's not the programming, right? He could come and, oh no, I've done this and that. You will have to blah blah blah.
All
Like,
this,
it's just like a lot of things that are unnecessary in a relationship.
if you just be yourself and relax into a relationship and, you know, let whatever chips may fall, whatever, all of this feeling oppressed or whatever is just toxic mind control stuff. It's just, you know, it doesn't even enter my mind. I don't fucking care.
And why we're bringing this up is because I don't know how many times I've heard couples break up because a woman thinks the man can't clean enough, or like they're not equal enough, and they have kids, they have lives together, and they really believe that. Is that a thing to get divorced for? Like, it's also kind of a level of loyalty between us, I think, that it's like, okay, we were actually married, we have promised each other we're going to be there for each other, like in better, worse, like whatever happens. I think we're both very loyal people to each other, to so that the idea of, oh, well, he talked to me in a bad way, or he doesn't do the dishes, it's just like
That's just
crazy that you would actually get divorced
just superficial
over
stuff.
those things.
I mean, what one responsibility I can see that we have is that when you promise each other eternal love, I don't think many couples understand that that is actually what they're doing. Until death do them part. And if you're going to be together for 9 years like we've been, of course she will get tired of me sometimes, you know. Of course she has other men out there looking at her. There's always a risk that the grass could be greener on the other side. Or for me too. I mean, but inside of me, if I take care of me and my relationship with her inside here, I'm going to create that love to be a continuous one forever with her, and it goes deeper and deeper. If I come to a point in myself where, oh my God, I'm tired of her or whatever, I look at, why am I tired? Is it something I haven't dealt with or whatever? Like, I remember always the one I married anyway, you know, she's in here. And you know, to just search for something else superficial somewhere else, if you just do it for that reason, you will only end up in the same questioning. I mean, you would just continue to search everywhere. Why don't try to deepen it with the one you have right now? Like I you know, I speak for myself, but I don't even look at other women because I don't have to. I'm not even interested anymore. It just doesn't compute with me to have a, you know, whatever it can be, like a flirt or whatever. That's just someone's calling. But so yeah, I think we have and like you I mean, women want to be the princess, you know, they're searching for the princess, and they have high hopes, and the man might have money, and they just like hoping that this man will fit everything they have ever longed for. And when they live together for half a year, 1 year, and they see their man is like farting, and you know, they see all the bad sides, and she continues to put that in her bad list, you know, like, oh, this is bad. And it starts to become very heavy after a while, you know, because you see the princess picture you had was not really what you were thinking, you know. But in our case, I mean, you became together with me, and I had some problems with alcohol and stuff like that we dealt with, and I was a pain in the ass. I knew
Not
that
from the start, but then I think the love between us, and when I got pregnant, like it all came up again, like it all came back.
I came from parents that had alcohol problems and everything, and we didn't want to show this to our kids, so we said, I had started to show some not so good sides when it comes to alcohol. So we decided I should stop altogether. But it ended up me drinking even more for a year or something. I drank almost every day.
That was hell yeah.
But instead, that when I was the king, you know, the king that you have been searching for, like you are watching this, when you together with your man, and he falls down and he's broken, you know, because of past lives or whatever you want to call it, you know, past experiences, he's broken. I mean, I've seen so many women just leave their man, just kick them out, and just because, oh, it wasn't good enough, like my wife did. She didn't take,
I
like,
didn't kick him out.
she saw a demon inside of me. I remember you screamed in my face one time, like, get the fuck out of here, demon, leave my husband alone. And it shocked me that you could see, that you could discern between me and whatever I was going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It almost like you screamed against this energy. I was like, whoa, like, and you like, and you never
Nothing's
let, and
touching my husband, like
it's such an act of, what do you call it when you, it's such an act of a teammate effort, you know, like, she is my ally here. She's not against me. She's not trying to wage war against me because I don't fit into her fucking princess vision. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and I respected that. You know, the king inside saw that. I'm like, oh my God, it's time to wake up the king here. And after that, I actually dealt with the whole problem. And from when I quit alcohol, we just grew from that. And when you as a woman show your man, even if it's, you know, momentarily unbalanced, don't leave him. Because if you're an ally to a man, you can, if he's a real man, you will get so much back, you know. But if he just abuses you, and if like a psychopath, you will see that. I mean, just get rid of him. But most men out there, they are dormant kings. Okay. So don't go for this 1%ers on the top, because most of you women out there, you are searching for that 1% on the top that will tickle your little princess side, you know, because you are brainwashed into this. You know, the media and everything have brainwashed you what a man should be. He should earn like 6 figures or whatever, blah blah blah. It should take care of you. You should drive good cars or whatever. You know, that doesn't hold, because you don't give any value, you know. You know, and those men who you might end up finding are those who can mimic being a good man, which is the psychopaths. You understand? So I'm sorry, I get a little wind up over this, but
no, but it's so important, because I've been in a very toxic relationship, you know, before I met Kristopher, with my former husband. And it was just like that. When you go for, because I went for like the looks, like the credits, like, oh, he had all these university degrees and he was very charming, he was this and that, but he was honestly like a psychopath. Like, so it's really a trap for so many women, that they fall into, instead of finding real love. Like, what is real love? When I met Kristopher, it was like coming home. That's how real love should feel. It felt like the first time I could be myself on all levels. I remember, like, I think you moved in after like a week or something into my apartment, or like he was there all the time. I was like, bring your stuff because you're anyway here. And it just felt so natural, so organic, so beautiful, like in meeting you, because I'd never experienced, because I'm a very like expressive, full woman. I'm like,
and I want to tie
have
into
emotions, I have my spirituality, I have like my own view of stuff. And Kristopher could see me, he could take me as I was.
and you didn't, you were searching for a man who just could see you for everything you were. You weren't expecting money or whatever. I had my company, I had money, like normal money, but I wasn't rich or anything. But you had a certain level of standards, you know, and you weren't expecting, you know, the kings of the world, you know. You want to find a normal man who was not a psychopath and who could see all of you, right? So
but I had a list actually, like
oh,
I
you
had
had
a
a
long
list.
list.
Okay.
But you matched that. But that was not like the norms that, oh, it should be rich and successful and blah blah blah, like this and that. And no, it should be someone who is authentic and sovereign and that I can be myself with and have fun with, and like that is genuine. And what I love about you is that you are really sovereign. Like you have that in you. You it's like you can't leave yourself, like your truth. You just will not. So many people, and that's actually something that I chose very early too. Like I will not leave myself, especially after that bad relationship I was in, where I was completely like, I have to find myself so deeply again. After that, it's like, never ever am I gonna not be myself in a relationship. And that's with Kristopher. I'm myself all the way through. And you know how stubborn I am sometimes with that. Like if I have a view, if I have like my view of things, I won't change it just because I want to please Kristopher. I change it if I have new evidence, or if I really believe and think another way, because I can't change and you can too. But we have those honest conversations. And I think
nothing is stagnant in our relationship, I think.
And then the love is like fresh all the time, when everything is, when I'm being myself completely, Kristopher is being himself. And it's also about matching. Like some people don't match. Like maybe it's not something wrong with the other person, it's just not the right person. With Kristopher, I feel like I want to spend my whole life with him. He's the complete right person for me, because we can be ourselves together and it matches. Like, so I'm not saying like stay with whatever happens, you have to stay. Like, no, if it doesn't match, and but it's nothing wrong with the other person. It's not, no one is going to be happy if you just keep on bringing someone else down, which I see happening in a lot of relationships, where like you're trying to completely change the other person, but guess what, they're not like that. Why do you want to make like a sheep into a lion? Like you can't do that. Why would you try to kind of masquerade it? Like that's the pain I see in so many relationships, where you can't see things as they are. Like,
and so many relationships I see, I have friends who have been bullied by their girlfriends in the worst possible way.
and that's okay in society.
I
Like,
think it's
okay,
disgusting,
when
really.
women harass men psychologically, that's somehow okay.
Yeah, and also the worst part is when you have kids
It's
together.
terrible.
When you have kids together, you should be ashamed. If you're watching this, you should know I despise you, truly. If you use the kids to win or gain something in a breakup, and the prize is the kids' well-being. We see that so many times, and it's disgusting, really, you know. And it really shows what kind of person you are, really.
Where the woman is projecting all of her pain out to like a father, or that's really, like, we've seen this happen over and over, especially the nice guys, the ones that are very loving and very nice, that don't like put their limits and say no. Those are the ones often really abused by the co-parent. Like, how could you do that to the other most important person of that child's life? It's a completely different thing. Like if if a father is really abusive, like sexually, physically, whatever, of course then the like wolf mother has to protect the children. I've been there myself, where I had to do that. But the twisted thing is that when we don't like acknowledge that, like, our true instincts and our true, like, are in contact with our feminine and masculine, it becomes the opposite. It's like the children are given to the abusers, like that's okay, And then when the men are really beautiful fathers, they're really nice, they are too nice, they're completely run over, both by the mothers and the system that we're in. So it's kind of become a complete
and you can
confusion.
see that that's why it's so important for us to start really to take care of the core family, really understand the threat here, because the state uses your separation as a tool to control your kids, to control you,
and take the
and
kids
take the
from
kids.
families
And
as well.
and the
Yeah.
common thread, the red thread through this all, when we look at all the cases, is that the state usually supports the most suppressing mother or father, the part who is most bad for the kids, those who is protected by the state, not the good parents, because this is like an evil cabal, you know. If you don't understand that, you should really get into that, because if
it's a whole story.
It's a whole another story. But if
we've seen it personally, like
yeah,
we really
we've gone through hell with
and
that.
talked to so many people
But
around
because we've been through and we've been together like a core family, they can't do anything, because if you are a core family, man and woman, if you're strong together, nobody can break that up. You know, but you really have to understand these things, and you cannot be an egoistic person and try to have gains, your personal gains in this, because you need to understand that this is for the kids, or everybody, also you.
And I guess also talking about sovereignty, because now we're moving into like other areas. It's a huge area. I've been, working with supporting families where the kids have been taken, and women, and it's just crazy what's going on in that area. But I also see people kind of moving into sovereignty and not deeply understanding sovereignty, and then actually creating a lot of problems also in these areas. But like when you move into the area of sovereignty, one thing is to know who you are, and know, and also coming from that knowledge comes a love, and it comes a peace. So it's got nothing to do with like aggression. It's actually the opposite. Like I've heard people talk about, or like government even levels talking about, oh, but you're leaving the state, or you're being aggressive to you're creating aggression. It's completely the opposite. It's the most peaceful thing you can do when you act in honor and do no harm. That is like the red thread in sovereignty. And when you really start to treat each other with respect, with honor, with clear communication, this can also be in communication with like state governments or between people. It's in all the communications where like one of our mentors, Mark Batelek, who has a platform called Solutions Empowerment, which is amazing. It's in the trainings, in what he's done there. He's worked for 20 years. It's to always be peaceful and respectful in your conversations. And this is something I think both between men and women, but also when families are attacked in this way, it kind of takes people off guard. Like I've been in some situations that have been a lot of pressure on me because of what I do. There's a lot of pressure sometimes on me. But when you just stay calm and clear and peaceful, like someone that comes with aggression, they're just completely taken off guard. I remember actually one time, do you remember when we were in Berlin? What happened there on New Year's?
Yeah, but that's another topic. We have to go get the kids.
Okay. No, but I wanted to say there was actually like police officer that was really acting in a bad way. And I actually, through just giving him love and telling him what was happening inside me, and this is not honorable, he started to cry because of that. And it's just about, if we all stay human, like if we all stay true to what really is, we take away the norms, the anything coming from outside, and we start to relate to each other truly. That is the power, and that's the most important thing. like, is our relationships, right? And that we stay true and honorable in them.
Definitely.
Yeah. And now we've got 2 beautiful kids to take care of.
Yes, we have to get them now.
Okay, so thank you for listening. Would love to hear your comments. Like, what are your honest and honorable, respectful comments to what we just said? What does it awaken in you? Do you have situations where you relate to this? Please help us share this video, because we're doing this to support as many people as possible to step into freedom, to step into sovereignty. So join our Facebook group, and you can also go to sovereignfree.life to know about, you know, some other aspects of what we're doing connected to sovereign living and sovereign finance, etc. So yeah, that's it. That's how you can continue to.
Yeah, I just want
follow
to
us.
put in there also that when it comes to the state and the system or whatever, that not everything is black, of course. Not everything is dark and negative. That's what we've seen, because we don't interact with the system we don't view it as bad. We come with non-ill intention, like we do with everybody, and then we get non-ill intention back. That's how the universe works, you know.
We relate to each other as men and women,
That's
and not
it,
the
that's it.
roles that we have.
But if you play the dark game, and if you use kids for your own benefit, you playing the dark game, you might end up getting the dark game. That's what I'm saying.
It's kind of like, whatever actions you take, that will come back to you. That's kind of universal law. It doesn't matter the laws that we make up in the mind. If you know that if you do good, if you act in honor, and if you do, everyone that you meet them as a man and a woman, not as an officer or husband even, or this and that. Like, I meet him as a man. I meet everyone as a man and woman, and they can't hide behind any roles. Some magic starts to happen, and we start to remember that that's who we are, really. And we all have a choice in every second how to act and how to live our lives. So, and that is the sovereignty.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
See you next time. Bye bye.